morning, one and all present here. I, Ishita Rana, faculty of IT Department, Parul Polytechnic Institute. It is a true pleasure for me to welcome you and all today's innovation function. I am very grateful to Honorable Provost of Parul University, Dr. M.N. Patel sir, and our expert for Mr. Harpal C. Waghela, Professor Mohammad Hussain sir, Professor Brijesh Wala sir, and Professor Bhasa Anjaria ma'am for taking time from their busy schedule and joining with us today. I also wish to thank Dr. H.S. Vijay Kumar sir, Pro Vice Chancellor of Parul University, Professor Manish Pandya sir, Registrar of Parul University, Dr. Jatin Vaidya sir, Principal of Parul Polytechnic Institute, and Professor Ashfaq sir, in charge HOD of IT Department for joining with us today. As a part of this today, IT Department of Parul Polytechnic Institute organized hands-on training on IoT using Micropython. I hope this workshop will provide an opportunity to all the participants few technical ideas in future. So I would like to take request all the dignitaries for Ma Saraswati.
Yes, Yeta madam, I am audible.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the network issues. Then I would like to request in charge HOD of
No,
IT
not
department.
we'll start the inaugural with this formal speech.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Skip
sir.
that
Okay, sir. I would like to request in charge HOD of IT department, Parul Polytechnic Institute, Professor Aswak sir, to start with initiation of program and share few words. Aswak sir.
Okay, ma'am. Am I audible? Good morning to all dignitaries and students present over here. I, Asfaq Darwazwala, faculty of IT department, welcome all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you to today's workshop on IoT using Micropython, sponsored by which course which is organized by IT department of Polytechnic Institute. First of all, I am congratulating both faculty members, Ms. Heta Acharya and Mr. Arpit Shah, for receiving this grant and organizing such a type of workshop. The event was named Workshop on IoT using Micropython, which includes basic of IoT and concept of Micropython. This type of workshop is useful for all students for their project work, and also it provides additional knowledge other than your curriculum, and this additional knowledge is required for their future also. I am thankful to Dr. N. Patel sir for thank you, sir. I am also thankful to Dr. H.S. Vijay Kumar sir for his precious time. Thank you, sir. I am also thankful to Professor Manish Pandya sir for his precious time. Thank you, sir. Also, I am thankful to expert of 2 days session of workshop, Mr. Harpal C. Waghela, Senior Developer at Laika Info Private Limited, Professor Muhammad Hussain, Assistant Professor, CSE Department from Charles University, Professor Bhasa Anjaria, Assistant Professor, CSE Department from Parul Institute of Technology, Professor Vijay Swala sir, Assistant Professor, CSE Department from Parul Institute of Engineering and Technology.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for
The
your encouraging
principal
speech.
CPI for his constant support.
Chalo.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, good morning, one and
Thank you,
all.
sir, for your encouraging speech. Now I would like to request Principal of Parul Polytechnic Institute, Dr. Jatin Vaidya sir, for his valuable remarks.
Good morning, one and all present over here. This is yet another glittering morning for us because we have conducting another Bujko sponsors program and a workshop, 2 days workshop by the IT department, and really it's a hard effort put up by our faculty members. So I would like to congratulate the faculty members of our IT department, those who have received such grants. from Gujkos under the GST, that is the government of Science and Technology Department. Arpit sir, yes, and Heta madam, and especially also we have to congratulate the department head, Vijita madam. So one and all, it's combined effort, joint effort by them, and because it's not an easy. As we have received 6 grants this year, and we have the record of the 11 grants once the last year before pandemic. So our polytechnic always the energetic to get such type of grants from the GST and Gujkos. So that is the one achievement for our polytechnic, and our faculty members, as they are putting very hard effort behind this such type of activity. So today's again, this is the about talking about the today's program of today's two workshop of IoT using MicroPython, and this topic is itself innovative topic, and today's the most necessity of the students to enrich such type of topics, because previously where we were with the GTU, that is the biggest problem for us, that we are not getting the club with the latest technology, latest the things in the updates in the academics and in the industries, because the Python is a part of industries today, is a very much requirement. Even these other universities not included that in the syllabus. So we have started from the second semester of students also. So this is the biggest advantage of the that we are getting. Yes, now we are affiliated with the our own constitute our Palu University. So such type of advantage we are getting, and this is the topic also related to that such a advanced subjects of Python, IoT using MicroPython. So again, that is a big opportunity and a big chance for the students to get involved, and again for the students that we have the such experts from the outside, so they will interact apart from our faculty members. They have a chance to get the interact and get the benefit of the all the four our experts today, and such informations and such everything is this all platform for the students only, and students will definitely ahead with this gain the knowledge and get the results from here, and convert into the now what is the role of the students. Not only they should not stay and stop from by the end of 2-day workshop, but they have to continue this technology and with the further study, with the further projects, for the innovations, because unless and until if we have a good projects in our hand, then and then we can become a good engineers. Now that is the one must profile that we have to enhance. That is the you must have some innovative projects. You must identify yourself, because a lot of admissions, lot of people are doing computer and IT nowadays. So don't think that it will be easy way for you, because there will be heavy competitions. There will be heavy competitions going to come in the now for the computer and IT sector. So if you have some additional value, if you have some additional things that in your pocket, then and then you can change the world, or you can challenge the world, in fact. So this is the big again I'm telling you this for the students or participations, that they must concentrate and they must take learning out from, because this 2-day workshop and you are giving a valuable time of 2 days. They all the speaker and interact with them, ask the questions, take the curiosity, because unless you don't ask the questions, you will not never find that is what they exactly happening. Otherwise, what will happen if they simply listening is a one-way communication, never be healthy communication, always be communication the two-way. So that is the questioning the doubts, asking the doubts, solving the doubts, and everything you have to pick up in this 2 days time. So that will be enough time for you. And congratulations again all department, and thanks all the experts to joining us. And none of the I want to also thank to our dignitaries of the Power University. Dr. M.N. Patel sir, always most positive. In my entire my life, I never seen such a positive personality. During my even I spent about 20 years of my life, I never see the person like Dr. M.N. Patel sir. So we are very fortunate that Dr. M.N. Patel sir, Provici sir, is blessing us day to day all activity. He always give his concern in whatever the busy time schedule, because this Palu University always having a very vibrant university every day. Even today itself we have 2 programs. And similarly, all programs are going on because we have about 35 faculties. So if you find once or twice a day, so one activity that will be goes to a number of minimum 10 activities per day. So in this busy schedule, sir is taking our time. Our provisor, sir, Dr. S.H. Vijay Kumar sir accepting an invitation, Professor Manish Pandya sir accepting an invitation. So all in all, they are all encouraging us, and that gives us a lot of boost to us, our enthusiasms, and it gives us more and more work, more and more put and hard efforts, and also we will try give more and more good things in the or good workshops or everything related to academics in future also. That will give this authority, sir. So thank you once again, and thank you, Veda ma'am, for giving me the opportunity for to speak about the today's inaugural workshop. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your encouraging speech. Now, I request to Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of Parul University, Dr. H.S. Vijaya Kumar, sir, for his valuable and remarks and guidance.
Sorry, sir, for interruption. Sir, your voice is not audible.
Now, I request to Honorable Provost of Parul University, Dr. M.N. Patel, sir, for his valuable and remarks and guidance. Dr. M.N. Patel, sir.
Ji Namaskar and very, very good morning to one and all. Again, I am the part of the inaugural function of GUJCO sponsored program by Department of IT Parul Polytechnic, taking the topic of so-called latest, because when we were students, we have not heard the word of IoT, we have not heard the word of Python, because languages was just starting as COBOL, Fortran, so on. But nowadays, from C, C++ to Java to so many things, we have come to the Python, and which became a very, very popular as so far all programming, all use. And with the use of IoT, we are making our work very simple. Now, what I try to understand that Python was there, but the word MicroPython is used. It means something beyond basic Python is to be taught through IoT. And I think this type of additional learning, which is a continuous process, because the area of computer engineering, which is a fast changing area, the thing which we are teaching this year may be of no use by next year. That is what the stand of computer engineering is. And that's why today the area of computer engineering became a limelight. Always, everywhere it is used. Everywhere it is used in detail. The computer engineering, whether it is a shopkeeper, whether it is any person, everyone is using the technology of computer either for account or any for other purpose or for records or for transferring information or for sharing the message and so on. It means the computer engineering became a very, very essential as far as the life of human being is concerned. And being a student of technology, we are the instrumental to add something which is making our life very easy, convenient and smart. I think the effort made by the Department of IT, those giving this type of workshop. And normally, whenever we call it a workshop, naturally we have a lot of hands-on things are to be discussed, and obviously students are getting a lot from that. On that occasion, I congratulate the department head, principal, Professor Jatin, and other team, those who are putting that effort. And we are always be rather faithful to this coach course, because you are the lucky institute to which I can consider that since last 5 years I have seen that the maximum number of programs that your college on your proposal which cost is giving to you. I think you may be using the money judicially as so far that submission of utilization certificate is also maybe in time. With this all reason, you are getting the support from Guj cost. And I hope so that in future, each and every teacher should prepare and write for the proposal from the Guj cost. And Guj cost has ample money. And the proposal is the right one. I think it will be sanctioned by the Guj cost. So the congratulations to Guj cost also by sanctioning this type of thing, and especially congratulations to the team of Parul Polytechnic, where such more and more programs we are planning, we are undergoing, and through which whatever the teaching learning takes place. When I am a student, I can say that when I was a student, only the classroom teaching and little bit practical to be performed, and little bit tutor were explaining that part. But now the student of this generation are lucky enough because so many things which will give you the skill, which will give the motivation, which will give the inspiration, that all activity through this type of additional program to which we call add-on is going on. And the Polytechnic, even though it is rather some of the program that last week you have, one of the experts said that the student of Polytechnic are really lucky that they are getting the exposure of this level, which normally the graduate study student are also not getting. So like that way, you have an opportunity by taking admission in Parul University, and you are even the Polytechnic within the university, looking around the degree colleges, you are also doing, or you are pacing with other colleges, doing more and more activity. Sometime I used to say that both the polytechnics are doing so many more activity compared to our two engineering college. It is a good sign, or rather I can congratulate the teacher of polytechnics. They are putting a lot of efforts. I think this the trend will continue. You also propose more and more such activity, and the beneficiary is our stakeholder students. And by that way, we are also getting good admission and we have a good name. It is recently the result of first semester comes, and I congratulate Parul Polytechnic, even though so many activities are going on, you are able to cross the 80% result, which really highly appreciable. Compared to our two more Polytechnic, the result is half of that. So obviously you are doing well, and I have to congratulate the entire team of Parul Polytechnic for having a very good result, along with this type of so many activity, because every day I have to join with you, not every day, but at least twice in a week with you, in order to have any of the program, maybe of IT department, maybe of civil department, maybe of electrical and so on. So by this way, we are increasing our general knowledge, we are increasing our subject knowledge, we are rather making ourselves competent compared to face the open market, which is very, very competitive. I think whatever learning today in today's workshop takes place through IoT, through the MicroPython, I consider that student will be at great benefit, and hope so that by that learning they will build their confidence, get self-motivated, and make that career bright. With this, my best wishes to all the participants along with the team of Parul Polytechnic for this type of program. Thank you. Over to you, Heta. Over to you,
Thank you
Heta,
so
please.
much. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time and enlightening us with various information. Now I would like to thank you, our principal sir, Jatin Vaidya sir, Pro VC sir, HS Vijay Kumar sir, and Provost sir, Dr. Aman Patel sir, and in charge HOD of IT department, Asfaq sir, to provide endless support and motivation to us and take such kind of this type of initiative. So on behalf of Parul Polytechnic Institute, Parul University, I would like to thank all the head of departments, faculty members, and students for joining with us in auspicious inauguration ceremony. Last but not the least, thanks to all our participants for showing much interest, and thank you very much and have an amazing day. So now I would like to if our Honorable Provost Sir, Dr. Aman Patel Sir, give us a green signal to start the workshop. Thank you very much again.
Yes, you can proceed further. And my best wishes to all. Please proceed.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Good morning to all. Now I would like to request you, Bhasha ma'am, to start the session. Hello. Hello, Bhasha ma'am. Am I audible?
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. Okay. So again, very warm welcome and good morning to all the students, all the faculty, all the dignitaries over here. It is such a pleasure that some high dignitaries inspire you to do such activities, and it also helps the speakers also to get motivated by the.
Your voice is low. Please speak loudly.
Yes, sir. The mic is away. So, okay. So, there can be some network issue due to that my video won't work. So, I thank all the higher authorities for inspiring us. So, now without wasting much more time, let's start with the session. Today, in the first session, we are conducting with the basics of Python. So if you know the basics of Python, then only you can move to the advanced version of MicroPython. So first of all, in this session, we'll start with the basics of Python. So let me share the screen. Please notify me or acknowledge me if you are able to see the screen. Is it visible? Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Am I audible now properly, and is my screen? Hello? Is my screen visible? Hello? Hello? Is my screen visible? Am I audible, ma'am? Okay, so now let's start with the Python programming. Let me change my audio device so that my audio. Everyone, please wait for a while. Sorry for the inconvenience. Am I audible now, ma'am? I have changed my audio device. Please acknowledge.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So finally, let's start with the Python programming. First of all, let's see the key indexes, what we are going to study in this session. That is, first of all, we'll see the introduction part, why and what is to be used in the Python, why Python was introduced. As you all know, we have many other languages like Java and C++, PHP, but why do we need Python? So that we'll see in the introduction part. Then after, how to install Python in our system, some basic things about Python variables, data types, operators, lists in the Python, conditional statement, iterative statements, and finally arrays in the Python, right? So we'll start with the introduction part. What is Python? So as we all know, Python is a programming language. It's a popular programming language, and it was created by Guido van Rossum, and it was released in 1991. It was used for web development, right? We have web development uh, uh, thing, that is HTML with us, but we cannot create it with the server. Sorry, we cannot connect it with the server. So we have this Python language which can connect to the server and which can develop some web development. That means website or web applications. Software development, mathematical formulas and mathematical concepts can be implemented using Python, and system scripting. So these are the features of Python. For that, we can use the Python language. In earlier days, C was enough. C language was enough to program and to do some functionalities, to perform some. But whenever we are talking with the large amount of data, we always need Python. And C cannot help with the huge amount of data. So nowadays, we know that computers are used in each and every area. Then we have the data in a higher amount, larger amount. So we always need some language which supports a huge amount of data, and that is Python. So again, what Python can do? Python can create web applications. Python can connect to the database systems, and it handles big data. That means large amount of data it can handle. So these are the reason which uh, attracts us to use Python rather than using other languages. Python, why do we use Python? Python always works on all the platforms, other many platforms like Windows, Mac, Linux. It also supports some IoT devices which you are going to study in this upcoming sessions of this workshop. So Raspberry Pi and many other things Python can work upon. It has simple syntax. It's similar to English language. That means if you know the simple English language, then you can simply code into the Python. It's very simple and very user friendly. Python has syntax that allows developers to write programs with fewer lines. Less amount of code will create a good impact. It would be easier for programmer also, and it would be easier for the users also to use such kind of applications. And so with the fewer lines of code, we can have some effective code.
It runs on interpreter system. That means a line by line code would be executed and the error would be found as soon as the programmer makes some mistake. So we need not to do any other efforts to find an error. It is an interpreter system. So interpreter means itself that it executes line by line. So this was the introduction part. Now, how a Python can install. So in some of the PCs, Python has been already installed. So you can directly check whether a Python is installed on your system or not. How you can check? You can go to the command prompt. Then you can simply write py. As you can see over here, I have written a command py. So if you have installed the Python in your system, a message would be displayed with the version of that Python. That in this system, a Python 3.10.3 is installed. And if you have not installed the Python, then after writing py command, you will get a message that Python is not installed on the system. Right? So you can check from the command prompt whether you have installed the Python in your system or not. So if this is the thing, if you have installed, but what if you have not installed the Python? So if you have not installed the Python, you can go to the python.org, you can go to the downloads and you can select the version of Python which you want to download or have into your system. This is python.org, official website of Python. You can download any version of Python from this website. It's a simple normal execution or normal executable file is there, python.exe. You can simply double click and run and then install the Python file. Now, how a Python program can be written? Python program can be written in simple normal any text editor. Generally we use Notepad or Notepad++ as our text editor to write a Python program. So here image is kept which is a hello world file. In this, a print hello world message is written. That means this file, if we execute this file in the command prompt, that will print hello world. Simply, if all the students are aware or familiar with the C language, in that we used to write printf, right? That was print function, right? Now in this Python, we are omitting f. We used to write print only, and same syntax as C, right? Brackets and double inverted comma, semicolon as it is, right? But here what you need to take care is you need to save the file with the py extension, that is .py. So generally a Notepad file is having .txt extension. So you need not to keep that .txt. You simply need to have hello world or any file name .py. So Python file is having extension .py. Right. So we have written a file hello world.py. Now we can execute this file. How we can execute this file in the command prompt? So next slide tells us how we can execute it. We can see that you can see that you need to go to the path, any path or any directory where you have stored this file hello world.py. So here I have stored. So here I have stored into the C users bash. This is the path where I have stored hello world.py. So simply you need to go to the command prompt. Hello world.py is the file name which you want to execute. Simply write the file name and push enter. So all the code written in the hello world.py file will be executed. So as we have seen in the previous slide, we have simply written a message hello world into the hello world.py file. So simply if you run this file hello world.py, you will get a message hello world, right? Here what you need to take care is you need to go to the specified path where you have stored the file. This is the only thing you need to take care of. Otherwise, everything is done by the Python libraries and Python things. Okay, so hello world.py is the file name which you want to execute. Okay, so this is how we can install our Python file. So now let me share the command prompt of my system with all of you. Please tell me if it is visible or not. Is it visible? I think the green border is coming out there, so it is visible to everyone. So simply I will write py. So it will show me the version 3.10.3 I have downloaded from the specified path, which I have already mentioned into the system. Now, what if I want to execute the file? So let me create a file at the specified path in the users bash. We have hello world.py. Right, let me share the screen again. Probably it's not visible. Yes, so here you can see the hello world.py file. I can open with the notepad and you will see the same screen which we have kept in the PPT. Right now, simply if I want to run the file, then I need to go to the command prompt, that is cmd. Again, this will require a new share. Yes, so now a command prompt is open. Simply what you need to do is hello world.py. Right, if you press enter, as you press enter, you will get the code run. That means whatever written in the hello world.py file, that will be printed over here. Simply we have written hello world. Right, so this is how we can create a Python notepad file. Right, I hope you all are clear. If you have any doubt, kindly stop me at that point only and ask whatever you want to ask. Okay, so now this is how we can install Python and run the simplest Python hello world file. Right, now what data types we can use in the Python? We have lot many data types in C only. Then after uh, data types of C can be used in the Python, and some Python has some own data types as well. So if you want to store text, then str, that is string data type. Numerical, for numerical we have integer, float and complex. For sequence types we have list, tuple and range. Mapping type we have dict, that is dictionary. Set types, set and frozen set, boolean for bull. Binary types we have bytes, byte array and memory view. Among these data types, we already had that integer, float and string in our C language, and rest of the data types are new to use. We'll see all the data types and use of major data types in the further upcoming slides. So getting the data type, what data type we get after storing value into the any variable. So for example, I have kept x equal to 5. So as we all know, this x is having value 5, so the type would be integer. So simple, if you yes, so if you write like this, type x, print type x, then it would print integer. Why? Because an integer value is stored into the variable x. Here, as in C, we were used to write int x equal to 5. In Python, we need not to specify the data type. We simply get the data type by using type x. Automatically, by default, Python compiler will take the data type, which kind of data is stored. According to that, it will set the data type by default. So we need not to write integer or character or float as we used to do it in a C language. So simply x equal to 5, print type x, it will print integer. This small amount of code can be copied from this. You can go to the notepad file and run it. It will print the integer, right? Because 5 is an integer which is stored in x. Similarly, if we want to set the data type, by default it can set automatically, but if we want to set the specific data type to any variable, we can use type again. So x equal to str hello world, that means this hello world is of string type. That means x is having a value string. So if we print type x, then it would be string because it's a string type. We have set a data type string over here. Similarly, x equal to float 20.5. So we have set the 20.5 to float data type. By default, it will take float, but if you want to set the data type, you can set it like this. And if you print the data type, it would be float. So you can get the data type using type x function, and you can set the data type by writing a type of data type in the starting or in the prior of the data. Python variables. So what variables? That means what can vary. That means which can vary, right? The value of variables can vary throughout the program. It is a container to store the values, right? Container, that means we can store the values into the variables. It has no commands to declare a variable. Simply we can write the variable name and the value. We need not to write any other thing, any other command to declare variable into the Python. No data type, nothing. So a variable is created the moment you first assign the value to it. So simply in C language, we used to write integer a. Simple, we have created a variable. But in Python, to create a variable, you need to assign a value to it. So simply we cannot have any variable without value. So simple, this is an example of creating an integer variable, and this is an example of creating a string variable. So here you can notice that we have not defined a data type x equal to 5. Simply it is written by default. Python will take it as an integer, and by default Python will take y as a string variable. So simply you need to assign a values and a variable will create automatically. If you write print x and print y, it will print 5 and John. Again, if you compare it with the C language, we used to have a percentage %d or percentage %s, a format specifier according to the data type which we have used, right? But in this Python, we need not to care about this format specifier. Simply we need to write the variable name, that is x and y in this case. So simply it will print the value of x, that is 5, and value of y, that is John. Variables do not need to be declared with any particular data type. So automatically data type would be taken as we have discussed, and you can even change the type after they have been set. For example, here x is 4, so it has been assigned an integer data type, but after in the program, I have set x equal to Sally. That means it's a string data type. So if we print x after writing these two statements, the Sally will get printed because it is an updated value. It is the latest value of variable x. So x equal to 4 will be vanished, right? Instead of x equal to 4, we'll have x equal to Sally because it's an updated one. So by writing print x command, we'll have print Sally, right? So this is how we can declare a variable in Python. We can cast the variables. That means we can set a data type using writing the data type in front of the values. So x equal to str3. So if we have not written str, then 3 would be an integer by default. But if I want to set 3 as a string or as a character, then I need to write str3. Y equal to integer 3. By default it would be integer, but still we can write integer 3 like this. And z equal to float 3. So as we all know, float allows the fractional numbers. So if we write float 3, then it would be 3.0. Single quotes and double quotes. Here in Python, we have both equal, single quotes or double quotes. If we write x equal to John in double inverted comma or single inverted comma, it would be same. Here it's a mistake, right? It would be a single inverted comma getting over here. The case sensitive variable names are the case sensitive names. That means if I have declared small a equal to 4 and capital A equal to Sally, then small a and capital A are totally different variables, right? As we have seen in the previous slide, this both x were in the small letters. So 4 was overwritten by value Sally. But in this case, this a is a small a and this a is a capital A. So two variables are different variables. Small a is of integer type, capital A is of string type. So simply a will not override the value of small a. So variable names are case sensitive. Totally different variables you can have with the capital and small letters. There are some rules of naming a variable. It could have a short name, right? It could have a descriptive or long name, right? But it should be according to the use. For example, if I'm finding the simple interest, and then my variable name should not be x or y or a or b, or simply you must have it, the name of the variable meaningful. That means you should keep it as si or simple interest like this. So meaningful name should be given to the variable. It must start with the letter or the underscore. It cannot start with the number, right? What are permissible? What are the values permissible in the variable name? So alphanumerical characters and underscore. That means capital A to capital Z, small a to small z, 0 to 9 and underscore. These are the characters permissible for the variable name. Any other symbols like at the rate or exclamatory, hash symbol, dollar symbol, anything is not allowed as a part of variable name. In special character, only allowed one is underscore. Other than underscore, nothing, no special symbol is allowed. Again, we have seen this, that variable names are case sensitive. This age, capital AGE and capital age are three different variables, right? So you must take note of this, that variable names are case sensitive. Some valid names. According to the rules we have seen in this slide, we have categorized the variables in a valid variables and invalid variables. So these are valid variable names. My where, because it's a simple following all the rules, right? All the rules are followed into the valid names, while in invalid names you can see that to my where. So we have seen a rule that variable name must start with the underscore all or an alphabet. So here it's a number in the starting of the name of the variable, so it's an invalid one. Here the dash symbol is used. So dash is not allowed. The only allowed character is an underscore. So again, this is an invalid name. And similarly in this, a space has been used. So space is again not allowed in the variable name. So these three are the examples of invalid variable names. Right? So valid variable names and invalid variable names. So if we have multiple words, so here we have seen that space is not allowed. So if we have a variable like student name, which has two words, one is student and another is name. So how, as space is not allowed, how we can name this variables which has two or more words? So for that we have multi-words variable name. In this, that we can use camel case, Pascal case, and snake case. What a camel case is? In camel case, we use a variable name without space, which is having a first character as a small character, and the whenever the new word comes, it will get a capital letter. So it's a camel case. Or we can use a Pascal case, that is every new word is having a capital letter, and a snake case, that means with separated with the underscore. So we can use camel case, Pascal case, or snake case in case of a multi-word variable name. Now again, we can assign multiple values to the multiple variables in a single line. Simply we can write x comma y comma z equal to orange comma banana comma cherry. That means orange value would be assigned to x, banana would be assigned to y, and cherry would be assigned to z by default by Python. And we can have one value to the multiple variables as well. That means x equal to y equal to z equal to orange. That means value of x is orange, value of y is orange, and value of z is also orange. So we can assign multiple values to multiple variables, and we can assign one value to multiple variables. Okay, now simple x equal to Python is awesome. This is a string type, right? This will print what? Print x will print what? The value of x, that is Python is awesome. So simply in this case, this will print Python is awesome. But if we assign some each word in a different variable, that means x equal to Python, y equal to is, and z equal to awesome, then we can simply use a print statement like this: x, y, z. So first of all, x will print it, that is Python. Then after y, that is, and z, that is awesome. Right? So Python is awesome will be printed. Now x equal to Python space, y equal to is space, and z equal to awesome. Right? So here if you observe, the space is kept over here. So if you don't keep the space, a message like Python is awesome will get printed. But if you need space between two words, you will need to have the space in the value of that variable. Right? So I have kept a Python space, is space, and awesome. That's it. Right? So you can use x comma y comma z, or else you can write x plus y plus z. This plus is a concatenation sign. That means we need to concatenate y and z with the x. So x plus y plus z will print Python is awesome. Python also supports some global variables. So global variables, as the name suggests, global can be used globally. That means throughout the program, anywhere in the program. So global variables that are created outside a function that can be used anywhere in the program is known as the global variables. That means we used to declare a variable inside the main function in the C programming language, right? So C programming in C programming language, the variables written in the main method can be used inside the main methods only. But if we declare a global variable in the C language also and in the Python also, so we can use it globally. That means inside the function as well as outside the function. Now, here a global variable is created x equal to awesome. Then my function is created, def my function. That means define my function. Print Python is plus x. That means Python is, then after value of x is to be appended. That means Python is awesome. So when the function is called, the value of x would be printed at the space of this Python is plus x. That means Python is awesome. So it could be used inside the function as well as outside the function. If you create a variable with the same name inside a function and outside a function, then what happens? So in the above case, we have used a variable outside the function. So there is only a single variable x, which is defined outside the function, which is a global variable, right? Now, if we declare a function, x is awesome, x is fantastic. So here a same variable name x can be used outside the function as well as inside the function. So what value is printed? So if we call a function if we call a function Python is plus x, then the local variable would get a first chance. That means the Python is fantastic would be the output. And outside the function, here it is written Python is x, then it in this place of x, the value of awesome will get replaced. So local variable will always get first chance if we have a variable with the same name. So x equal to awesome, x equal to fantastic. So inside the function we'll have Python is fantastic. Outside the function we'll have Python is awesome. Right? So this is how a local and global variable can work together. You can use a global variable, global keyword also to create a global variable, right? Global x equal to fantastic. My function Python is fantastic, right? So here x is a global function which is declared inside the function, but which is used outside the function. Here the function definition is this much only, right? So a global variable x is defined inside the function, but it is used outside the function, right? So this is how a global keyword can help you to create a global variable inside the function, right? Till the Python variable, please tell me if you have any doubt, or else we can start with the operators in the Python. Please tell me if you have any doubt till this slide. Okay, so now operators in Python. Operators in Python. Which are the operators that can be used in the Python? So same as C language, we have rich set of operators in Python as well. We can have arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operator, logical, identity, membership, and bitwise operators. So these all operators we are going to study in the upcoming slides. So starting first with the arithmetic operators, as we all know, arithmetic contains addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulo. Till now we have studied these 5 operators only in the arithmetic operator. But exponential and floor division, 2 more arithmetic operators are added into the Python. That means if we have any value with the exponent, then we can consider it in a arithmetic operator. And floor division, that means division without point value, floor value would be returned. So if the division will have 3.6, then the floor value of 3.6 is 3. So floor value would be returned by the floor division function. sorry, floor division operator. So these two more operators are added into the Python arithmetic operator. Then after assignment operator is having equal to, plus equal to. That means what it means, x plus equal to 3 means that x equal to x plus 3, right? Similarly, in minus equal to, multiply equal to, divide equal to, exponential equal to, and floor division equal to, right? So similar in the C language, I always used to compare Python and C language both together, because you have studied C language thoroughly. You know what rules and regulations and what are the syntaxes in C language. So I always connect Python and C so that you can clearly compare that and understand that what are the functionalities added into the Python. So assignment operator, similarly, all the operators would be used like this in the Python. And equal to, or equal to, not equal to, shift left, shift right, everything can be used with the assignment operator. Comparison operator, we used to tell this as a relational operator in our C language, right? Equal to, not equal to, greater than, greater equal, lesser equal. So we used to have a name of this comparison operator as in relational operator in C language, but both are same. What it does, it simply compares the value of two different variables. So equal, not equal, greater than, greater equal, less or equal. Logical operator, we always used to study that logical operator are three operators, and, or, and not. And will return true only if both of the conditions are true, right? I have a laptop and I have a mobile. That means I have both laptop as well as mobile, right? Or operator returns true if any of the two statement is correct. That means I have laptop or I have mobile phone. That means either I have laptop or I have mobile phone. Any of the single gadget I have, then or variable is used. And not, that means it reverses the result. That means not laptop. Not laptop means mobile, right? So it's a not that reverses the result. So if the result is false, the not false will return true. And if the result is true, then not true will return false. So these three are the logical operators in the Python. Identity operators. These are the new operators for us in the Python. Two identity operators are there, is and is not. Is and is not. So is, what is operator? So is operator returns true if both variables are the same object. That means both shares the same value. And is not, it returns true if both variables are not having same value. For example, x equal to 5 and y is also equal to 5, then x is y returns true because both are having value 5. And if x equal to 5, y equal to 6, then x is not y will return true because both of the variables is not having same value. So these are the identity operators. Membership operators. So we need to check whether the variables are the member of that specified value or not. So in or not in. Simply if we say you are in workshop or you are not in workshop. So in, that means you are the member of workshop, and not in, that means you are not a member of workshop. So similar in this way, in x in y and x not in y. So whether the value is present in the object or not. That means whether you are present in the workshop or not, right? So these are the membership function used in the Python. Bitwise operators, and or not. So logical operator and or and not we have studied. But what a bitwise operator? What a bitwise and or and not? So bitwise, as the name suggests, bit 0 and 1 will have operator and or and not. That means you might have studied in the physics or in the digital logic design or any other subject that and or and not, that means one and one and zero. So similarly bitwise and or and not operation is performed. Similarly XOR method, left shift and right shift. So these are the bitwise operator. Shifting is always performed bitwise and zero is added at the left or the right end. So these are the bitwise operators. So these many operators are there in the Python. You can use any of these operators readily in the Python. Now, lists in Python. So, list, this is the new concept. This is what we have not studied till now, right? Okay, what do you mean by list? So, obviously, list, as the name suggests, normal, we used to use this word in a normal our day-to-day language, right? That you need to buy the list of this item. So similarly Python supports list, right? In this we can store different values. So lists are used to store the multiple items in a single variable. So what is the difference between list and array? We have studied array in C language, right? So what is the difference between list and array? So array will always allow a single data type values to be stored, right? While in this list we can store multiple data types. This we can see in the further slides. So lists are created using square brackets. So square brackets on and square brackets off to start and stop the list. This list equal to apple, banana and cherry. So three items are stored in this list. Print this list will print all three values in the new line. List items are ordered, changeable, and allow duplicate values. That means it can be ordered. That means in ascending order or in descending order, we can store the list items. Changeable, that means we can change the value of list items, and allow duplicates. That means repetitive values are allowed in the list. Similarly, they are indexed. So as same as in array, so list of 0, list of 1, list of 2. So we can store the index, sorry, we can store the values at a specified index starting with the 0. So when we say lists are ordered, that means it has some specific order. That order will not change. So if we have written apple, banana and cherry, and when we print the list, it will definitely print apple, banana and cherry. It will not change the order of this list. So they are ordered in a specific order that they will get executed. Allow duplicates. Similarly, apple, banana, cherry, apple, cherry. So this apple, cherry are values that are being repeated. That means they are the duplicate values. But as they are index values, that means 0th index it is apple, first index banana, second cherry, third apple, and fourth is again cherry, right? So starting from the 0th index, all the values are at different indexes. So they are repeated values, but they will get printed again because they are at different indexes. So if you print this list, it will print all 5 values rather than only 3 values. So list length. So len is a function which we can use to find the length of the list. So print length this list. What it will print? 0, 1 and 2. That means 3 is the length of this list. 3 values are there, so length of this list is 3. So list item data types, what kind of data it can store? So simple, it can store some string values, it can store some integer values, it can store some boolean values, and it can store multiple or the combination of different values, string, integer, boolean, and so on. So it allows multiple data types, different data types stored in a single name. So this is the list in the Python. How we can access the items of the list? So in this list, we have apple, banana, and cherry. We'll always take an example of apple, banana, and cherry in each and every concept of list so that we can understand it easily. So this list is equal to apple, banana, and cherry. As we know, the index of the list starts from the 0. That is, apple is at 0th index, banana is at 1st index, and cherry is at 2nd index. So if we write print this list 1, then the value at index 1st would be printed. So in this case, the banana would get printed. If we give negative index, that means rather than writing this list 1, if we write this list -1, that means it would start from the right end. That means it will start from the end. That means this is -1, -2, -3. Right? So -1 is cherry. Right? So if we write this list -1, it would print cherry. Similarly, we can apply the range of the list items. That means if I write 2 gem 5, that means starting from the 2nd index, stopping at 5th index. So we need to print 2nd index, 3rd index, 4th index, and 5th index value to the output. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means cherry, orange, kiwi, and melon will get printed in this case. So 2 to 5, starting from 2 to 5. Now, if we don't have a starting point, so by default it will take 0. So 0 to 4. So 0 apple, banana, cherry, orange, and kiwi. 0 to 4, that means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 values will get printed if we don't provide the starting index. Similarly, in this case also, same example has been written over here. If we have written -4 to -1, right? So -4. So whatever the value at the index of -4 till -1 is getting printed into this. Similarly, in this case, again, it has been printed twice. So change the item value, we can change the value as well. So this list is having apple, banana, and cherry. If I want to store the black currant instead of banana, then I can simply write this list of 1 equal to black currant. So we can change the value by simply assigning it. So after changing the value, if we print this list, then it would print apple, black currant, and banana. Apple, black currant, and cherry rather than printing banana. Right? Similarly, by providing the range, we can have the values like this: black currant and watermelon. So 1 and 2 will get changed. So apple, black currant, watermelon, orange, kiwi, and mango. This would be the output of this list. Again, black currant at the 1st index, watermelon at the 2nd index. Right? So we can change the value of list items by providing a single value or by providing a range. Append the item. That means we have apple, banana, and cherry in our list. We append orange in our list. That means apple, banana, cherry, and the 4th value would be orange in our list. We can use append function as well as we can use insert function. By using insert function, we need to specify the index of that list. That means at the 1st index, I need to insert orange. So apple is the 0th index. 1st index, previously it was banana, now it is orange. So apple, orange, banana, and cherry. So simply if you want to add the value at end, you need to use append function. And if you want to use at a specified index, if you want to insert, then you need to use insert function. How to remove the value from list? This list dot remove banana, that means it will remove the value banana, and finally the list will contain apple and cherry. Pop 1. Pop 1, that means it will pop the first value. So you can use remove function or you can use pop function. In remove, you need to specify the value, while in pop function, you need to specify the index. So both used to remove the items from the list. Pop. If we don't specify the value inside the pop, it will by default deletes the last item of the list. That means in this case, apple, banana, and cherry, if we use pop function, the cherry will get eliminated. Del, again delete. Shortcut for delete is del function. Del this list 0. So again, 0th index value would be deleted. So apple would be deleted. If you want to delete whole list, then del this list. That means all the values inside the this list will get deleted. Or you can use a clear function as well. Del function and clear function both are used to delete the whole list. And pop and remove functions can be used to delete a specific item. So clear, this list dot clear will clear the list. Hello, is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? Okay, so this list dot clear will clear all the whole list which has been used with the clear function. So in this case, this list, all the items of this list will get cleared. That means will get deleted. Okay, now conditional statement. Kindly ask if you have any doubt till now. Please tell me if you have any doubt. Okay. So conditional statements. So as we know, we have some conditional operators we have seen earlier in the slide. We have conditional operators like equal, double, that means double equal, not equal, less equal, greater equal, etc. Right. So in this case, we can use the conditional statement in a with the if condition, if statements. Right. So in conditional statement part, we'll see the conditions. That means if else, if else later, how we can use or how we can check the conditions in our Python programming. So a simple example is mentioned over here uh, of if statement. A is equal to 33, B is equal to 200. If B greater than A, then print B is greater than A. Right. So here, if the condition that B greater than A, if the condition is true, then it will print a message whatever is specified over here. If you see the syntax, we used to do brackets in the C language. Here the brackets are not required. Simply after if keyword, you just need to mention the condition, and the colon sign is required after the condition is over. And the most important part here is the indentation. That means you must leave some space after the condition or after the any block or any module of the code. Without indentation, it will make an error. We'll see this indentation part in the further few slides, upcoming few slides, right? So your indentation is must. Yes, here it is. So Python relies on the indentation, that means white space at the beginning of the line, to define the scope of the code. Other programming language often use curly brackets for this purpose. Right? We used to do curly brackets in the C language, but in this Python, we always used to have indentation. If we write like this, A equal to 33, B equal to 100, if B greater than A, print B is greater than A. Right? In this case, you will get an error. Why? Because you have not you have not kept a space over here. You need to have an indentation. You need to leave a space to define the scope of the if condition, right? For if statement or for a looping statement, you must have some indentation. The Alif keyword. Alif is something new which we have not studied in the programming languages, yeah, like C language, right? The Alif keyword is Python's way of saying if the previous condition were not true, then try this condition. That means else if later, which we used to have it in a C language, else if later. That means if b greater than a, write b greater than a, else if a equal to b. That means we are checking a condition of being greater, then after we are checking the condition of being equal. So a equal to 33, b equal to 33. If b greater than a, so this condition is true. Sorry, this condition is false. Why? Because 33 is not greater than 33. So as the first condition is false, we jump to the second condition. Second condition is a equal to b. Yes, so condition is correct, and the message a equal to b would be printed. Right? So else if is what? If the condition defined at the if statement is false, then elif condition will be checked. And else, if both the conditions are false, then what is to be done? That is specified in the else statement. A is equal to 200, b equal to 30. Is b greater than a? So 200 greater than 30, sorry, 33 greater than 200, false. So this condition is false. Equal to condition is again false. So what if both of the conditions are false? So else part is to be executed when all the conditions, all the previous conditions are false. So the message is printed a is greater than b. So simple if statement will have one condition and one statement if the condition is true. Elif statement will get two conditions. One is if condition and one is elif condition. And the third else will have three parts, that if both of the conditions are false, then what is to be done is to be specified in the else statement. Shorthand if. Shorthand if, that means you just need to write the code in the single line. Means if a greater than b colon print a greater than b. You cannot use a next line for the coding, that is one line if statement, that is shorthand if. And similarly, if you shorthand if else is also there. If a equal to 2, b equal to 330, print a. If a greater than b, else print b. That means you can write if statement in a single line. You can also write else if statement in a single line. That means if a greater than b, print a, else print b. This is the meaning of the statement, right? That true part, condition, and false part. Here the true part is mentioned in the first part, then after the condition, and then after the else part. So this is the one line if else statement. It is also called as shorthand if else. And keyword. And keyword is, again we have seen that if both of the conditions are true, then end will return a true part. That means if a equal to 200, b equal to 33, c equal to 500. A greater than b, is that condition true? 200 greater than 33? Yes, condition is true. Now an and, second condition. Here the keyword and is used, so we need to check both of the conditions. And both of the conditions must be true. C greater than A. 500 greater than 200? Yes, so condition is true. So first condition is true again, and the second condition is even true. So print both the conditions are true. So here AND keyword is used to combine the or to check the conditions, both of the conditions. Similarly, OR. So OR will allow true only if any of the one condition is true. In this case, we are checking both the conditions, but any of the one condition, even if it is true, then the output would be true. So in this case, again, the same values are used, 233 and 500. Again, the same condition, A greater than B. Yes, so condition is true. Or A greater than C. Here the condition is false. 200 is not greater than 500. So second condition is false. But first condition is true and we are using OR statement. So OR statement requirement is that key only one condition, if it is true, then output would be true. So this message will get printed, right? So this is and or with the if condition. Nested if, you can use nested if inside the if statement. That means if statement inside the if statement is called nested if statement. So if x greater than 10, so here in starting with the example, in that we have kept a value of x is 41. So is 41 greater than 10? Yes, condition is true. So above 10, that is the message that has to be printed. If x greater than 20, here you can mark the indentation where it is written. This if condition, the second if is written inside the first if. You can see the indentation, right? If x greater than 20 and also above 20, so this message will print it. So final output would be above 10 and also above 20, right? So we have written if condition inside the if condition, but you can check it with the indentation used, right? So 41 greater than 10, 41 greater than 20. So above 10 and also above 20 will be the message that is to be printed with the nested if. The pass statement. So in the case, if we don't have any statement is to be printed when the condition is true, generally what we used to do is we print some statement when the condition becomes true. So in the case where we didn't where we don't need to print any statement, then this pass statement is used. So a equal to 33, b equal to 200. If b greater than a, pass. Pass, that means will continue executing the next statements by not printing anything, even if the condition is true. So we cannot keep it this as a blank. We must have some printing statement, and if we don't have some printing statement, then we will use a keyword pass to avoid an error, right? So this was all about conditional statement. Kindly ask the doubt if you have any till this point. Please ask if you have any doubt till the conditional statement. Now we have two topics remaining, that is iterative statements, that means loops, and last topic is array. So please ask if you have any doubt till this point. Okay, so starting with the iterative statement. First iterative statement is a while loop. In this we have two loops, while loop and a for loop. In Python we have two loops, right? So with the while loop, we can execute a set of statement as long as the condition is true. That means whenever the condition is false, the loop will get exit. That means if we have an example of printing I as long as the I is less than 6. So we have a condition that I less than 6. So we have kept while I less than 6. This is our condition. Here, if you have observed, brackets are not used, right? Again, similar as if statement, brackets are not used. A colon is used at the end of the condition. So I equal to 1 is firstly defined. Then why I is less than 6, print I plus equal to 1. That means every time we need to print I till the value of I reaches to 6. right? And the initial value of I is defined as 1. So here the while loop will continue to execute when as long as the condition is true. So output of this code will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because whenever it reaches to 6, we need to stop. So 1 to 5 would be the output of this while loop. If we use break statement in the while loop, right? So simple, while I equal to 6, print I, if I equal to 3, break. So break statement breaks the execution of the current block. That means while loop will stop being executed whenever the value of I reaches to 3. So starting with the value of 1, value of I is 1. So 1 will get printed, then after 2 will get printed. Then whenever I reaches to the value 3, it will get break. That means the flow of execution or the flow of while loop will stop over there, right? So output would be 1, 2. Then in the continue statements, there is a minor line between the break and the continue statement. Break will stop the execution of the module that is being executed, and continue will, what continue will do? Continue will skip the iteration. It will not stop the iteration, it will skip the iteration. That whenever the I value would reach to 3, it will skip the value is to be printed. That means the output would be 0, 1, 2, then 3 will not get printed because the condition I equal to 3 continue will skip the value 3. So 4, 5. So the final output would be 0, 1, 2, 4, 5. In break, the iteration or the execution is being stopped, and in continue, the iteration or the execution is being skipped. This is the minor line difference between the break and the continue statement. Now, for loops, same as we used to do in C, but the syntax is completely different. For loop is used for iterating over a sequence. This is less like the for keyword in other programming language. So other programming language has some different syntax than having it in a Python. Simply, if we have example, if we see the example, print each fruit in a fruit list. So we have a list called fruits. In this we have 3 values: apple, banana, and cherry. So for x in fruits, print x. So value of fruits will get printed with the help of for loop. So we have declared a variable x in the for loop as already, that for x in fruits. So fruits is having apple, banana, and cherry. So first time it will print apple, then second time it will print banana, and third time it will print cherry. And whenever the list gets over, automatically loop will get stopped executing. Right? So this is how we can use the for loops in the Python. Again, in for loop we also have a break and a continue statement. So if we find x equal to banana, we need to break. That means this apple only will be the value which is getting printed by running this code. For x in fruits, print x. If x equal to banana, break. That means apple will get printed. Whenever the value banana comes, we need to break. Break, that means stops the execution. And similarly in the continue, apple will get printed, banana will get skipped. As we discussed, that continue statement will skip the iteration, and then cherry will get printed. So in the previous example, the output would be apple, and in this example, the output would be apple and cherry. Range function. This is something new in the Python, which we have not studied anywhere in any other languages. Range function. So range function, what is the use of range function? So as we used to define range in the for loop, right? If you remember, we used to write for I equal to 0, I less than 10. So the range of the values of I is starting from 1 to 10. So we can specify the range in the uh, loops using this range function. So if we write for x in range 6, print x, that means range is 6. So starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will get printed because range is provided till 6. Right? So range function will return the sequence of numbers. By default, it starts with the 0, increment is 1, and ends at the specified number. So starting from 0 will reach to the 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be the output of this range function. Now start parameter. That means if we mention a two parameters, so first would be the starting range, second would be the ending range. That means for x in range 2 to 6, so it will print 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? It will not include the last value. It will include the first value but not include the last value. So the output would be 2, 3, 4, and 5 of this for loop. Similarly, we can also head the increment. So if we have mentioned three parameters in the range function, that is 2, 33. That means starting from value 2, ending value is 3, and the increment value is, ending value is 30 and the increment value is 3. That means from 2 to 30 we need to from 2 to 30 we need to increment the values by 3. That means 2, then 5, then 8, then 11, then 14, and so on till the value 30. So a range function can have a single argument starting from 0 to the specified number. A range function can have two arguments, starting value and ending value, and a range function can have three arguments, starting value, ending value, and the increment value. It can be used with the for loops only, right? We need to provide range into the for loops only, right? We can use else statement in the for loop. For x in range 6, print x, else print finally finished. So it will print 0 to 5 because we have used this range function 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then after finally finished will get printed because the range function will get false when the value 6 is arrived. So when the condition becomes false, the else part is executed. So in the else part, we have a message finally finished. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finally finished would be the output of this code. And nested for loops. In nested for loop, that means a loop inside a loop. So if we have two lists, ADJ, that is adjective, red, big, and tasty. And we have second list, apple, banana, and cherry. So if we use two for loops, loop inside a loop, for x in ADJ, for y in fruits, print x comma y. That means every member of ADJ, that means adjective, is to be printed with the every value of fruits. That means red apple, red banana, red cherry. Big apple, big banana, big cherry. Tasty apple, tasty banana, and tasty cherry would be the output of this code. Because adjective have three members, fruits will have three members. So total we have 3 into 3, 9 members in the for loop output. Right? So this is for loop inside a for loop. Again, you can mark this indentation to show that this for loop is inside this for loop. Right? We don't use brackets in the Python. We use indentation to show that this is the loop inside the loop. Okay, so here the iterative statement ends. If you have any doubt in iterative statements, kindly ask. Okay, And finally, arrays. Okay, so we are familiar with array. What is array? Array is used to store multiple values with a single variable name with the same data type. So here I have an array of cars, Ford, Volvo, and BMW. So all three are string values which has a single name, cars. By default, the index value is 0, 1, and 2. Right? Now, array is a special variable which can hold more than one value at a time. If you have list of items, for example, list of car names. So using car names in three different variables or more different variables, we can use array. This is three variables. So we are happy with declaring three different variables. What if we have 300 different car names, right? So we, in that case, we need to use array, and array members can be accessible by the indexes. A simple example, get the value of first array. So first array item is cars of 0. So index is starting from 0. So first value would be stored at the index 0. So x equal to cars 0. So x will have the value, whatever the value it is there in the cars array. So modify the value at the first item. So we can simply set car 0 equal to Toyota. So in the previous example, as we have seen, the car was having Ford at the first index, sorry, 0th index. But now we have kept it as Toyota. So the final cars array will have Toyota, Volvo, and BMW. So this is how we can modify the value as well in the array. Again, len method to find out the length, that means number of elements in the array, is x equal to len cars. That means how many elements are present in the cars array that is getting printed in x, that is getting stored in the variable x. So we have three variables, so x would be 3 in this case. So array length, that means number of elements in the array. Looping array elements. If we have more array elements, we used to have loops to use or to print the array elements. So simple, for x in cars. So cars is our array name. X is the value, sorry, values in the cars array. Print x. So simply it would print whatever the values are stored. Ford, Toyota, whatever the values. Right? So what are the values would be in the cars array will get printed using the for loop. Adding array elements. So as we have discussed of elements of adding elements in list, simply in a similar way we can use the append method in the array as well, right? So we had three elements in cars array, Ford, Volvo, and BMW. Now we are appending Honda at the end of the array. So cars dot append Honda. Right? So finally our cars array will have four values: Ford, Volvo, BMW, and Honda. So append function is used to append the value at the end. And removing array elements. So to remove the elements from the array, two functions, a remove function and a pop function is used. Right? So simply cars dot pop 1, that means whatever the value at index 1 will get deleted using pop function, and cars dot remove Volvo. So again in this case also, as we have seen in the list, key pop function will always have index and remove function will always have value. So if we use pop function, the second value of cars element will get deleted. And cars dot remove Volvo, that means Volvo value is wherever the value Volvo is there, it will get removed. Right? So final our Cars array after remove statement will have Ford and BMW as the values. Right? So to remove array elements, we have two functions, pop and remove. And to add array elements, we have one value called append. Sorry, one function called append function. So this was the basics of Python. So now if you have any questions, please ask. Please ask if you have any questions till now.
Hello, students, am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Okay, students, any doubt?
Please ask the questions if you have any doubt.
If you have moved any doubts, then we will end the meeting and we will give you 10 minutes break. Hello.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much.
After 10 minutes, you all have to join this meeting again for second session. Is it clear to all? Okay, Basha ma'am, thank you. Now you can leave the meeting.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Mohammed, sir. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello. Yes, sir. Voice clear? Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Can you listen me? Voice?
Yes, sir.
Clear voice?
Not clear.
Hello. Hello. Now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Give me 5 minutes, right? So I will be back.
Welcome, sir. Over to you.
You give dollars to Philistines. Like
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Fine. So, good afternoon, all of. Today in this workshops, right, we are going to be discuss the title is what IoT with MicroPython. In the morning sessions, I think you are now get familiar with the Python. Basically, the MicroPython in Python is more similar, and the basic purpose of the MicroPython is to they have targeted right the microcontroller and the embedded systems like that. So such type of device they want to what communicate. So this is more hardware level interactions, you can say, right, in this. So basically they have done with MicroPython, they call it. So everyone is familiar with the Python now? The little bit how we are writing the Python code. Any reply? Can anyone explain me Python versus MicroPython in a whatever you understood? See, let me tell you what we are going to be discuss in the next 1.5 hour and maybe whatever time I have been assigned to just get a discussions with a IoT using MicroPython. So we'll just take few questions, right, related to the MicroPythons and why it is important and why we are having initially the Arduino, we are having Raspberry Pi, a lot of devices we are available. Arduino programming is also there and it is well known, right? Now people are switching to the what MicroPython. So why exactly? So for understanding that, I think you must be aware with the Python and why Python is nowadays very popular, and what are the main features of the Python programming, right? Then only you will understood. So that's why they want to be what integrate these all devices with the word Python like that. And then we will why the MicroPython fine. And I'm having my couple of hardware related to this, not MCU, you can say ESP8266, and few sensors, right? Will show you fine how we can integrate these sensors with the microcontrollers, fine. And then we can start, and whatever the line of code you're going to be write on any of the IDs. So there are number of IDs are available, fine, and that we can use. So I can share one quick simple. So our discussion will not be much on the PPT side, right? Let me share. So first of all, everyone is able to listen me? Hello? Hello? Please respond. Can you listen me properly? At least reply. You can put in a chat box. Yes, no. Everyone reply in a chat box quickly. Then we will start. I want to see this reply in the chat box. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Hello? Fine. So see, the agenda of today is first of all, we will just look at, right, what is the old approach and what is the new approach, right? You can see here the very first and important things, with MicroPython, as the Python is what similar because the Python is the interpreted language, right, not the compile. So you might be aware in the left hand side of the diagram, you can see that's our Arduino programming, and you have to be do all this, and there is a void loop, right? Do the setup and configurations, and then we will compile it, and then it will go and execute. Fine, like that. And the right hand side, you can see that's your Python code. Similar. The same code we have written in the word Python, and in the below one, that image is your Raspberry Pi we use initially. So you can use your Raspberry Pi, Arduino, right? Not MCU, ESP8266, and whatever device you have right with you, so that you can use it. So that's the very first difference we can say why we are switching from Arduino to the what Python, MicroPython, basically. Another bigger idea for switching, fine, the libraries. So when we talk about the MicroPython, so libraries need to be on board to work, right? So maybe those have not be started this work, right? So basically I will show you the couple of examples as well as, right? We'll demonstrate here. In the Arduino, you know that, right? You have to be add particular sensors libraries, right? And you have to build all these, and the initial configurations, that file will be there, right? But see, in the similar way in the Python, what we do whenever you want extra libraries, right, which is apart from your firmware, so you have to first of all flush the firmware from this any of the IDE interface, whatever device, right? We'll show you a couple of MicroPython devices, right? The firmwares that you have to be use it first of all, and after configuring that, you can use any existing libraries in the board, and then you can start the work over it. So as you know, the Python is open source, right? A lot of libraries are available for any type of purpose, any kind of purpose, right? So that library directly you can import it. So that's what very good job for this. So in the right hand side diagram, you can see here ssd1306.py. So that library we have imported in our example, and then you can import it, right, in your Python code, and the existing methods, existing code that you can use it, and you can customize it. Simple. That's again beauty of what Python, that external library supported. And these all libraries are available, and that you have to be what just add that Python file and import it in your program. We are having different development environment, right? The development environment you can see here in the Python, the IDLE, VS Code, Sony you can use, right? So there are a lot of interfaces are available. Similarly, in the Arduino, we are having some other interfaces which I don't know whether you have experiment the Arduino or not, but you can use it like that. The voltage is the another big difference here, the 5 volt and 3.3 volt. So understand, the less voltage will make your will increase your life of what your system battery. So the battery usage will be more, you can efficient in case of what 5. That's again very good advantage, right? In point of the voltage. So this again you can say the reason why we are switching from Arduino to what Python. As a programming, if we go in the programming C, so we are having you know that when we write the program in the word Arduino, so we are having void. So void is the what a kind of keywords, right? We use where we don't have any return type like that. So basically these all are the functions. Now here you can have your own user defined functions, right? And you can do more customizations compared to the previous. So see, all the syntax which are used in a Python, they have just directly used in the word MicroPython, similarly. So as we call as a Python is a very simple, easy to learn programming languages, right? So which is make easy and simple for the digital electronics. So basically our goal is to use this MicroPython for the digital electronics. So maybe so that experience, right, you can get it from MicroPython, and that's I think a very good starting point for you. Fine. So see, this is not like that कि अगर हमें Python नहीं आता है तो हम we cannot switch and like that. So anyone have anything? Any question? Any question? Hello. Can you mute?
Yes, wait, wait.
Someone is.
Aryan. Aryan. Aryan.
Okay. See, for starting this, you need to be gone through the couple of links, right? I have also put in the link here. These are the couple of links which I can share it with you. Uh, you have to be go through this MicroPython. Fine. Let me open it, right? So at least you get the idea. Fine. My screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Fine. See, this is what micropython.org. You can go and check it out. So, and the thing is what, before you start with any of the hardwares, right? And you want to start the programming and giving instructions and getting the output from this. So this all you can do it, right? Very simple. So you have to go to here, first of all, and they have given all these boards, right, which are available. These all are the resources they have shared, and the important thing is what you have to be download, whichever. Suppose you are working on any of such board, any of such boards, right? So they have mentioned all the different boards here. So any of the boards, if you want to be work, right? So you can see here these are D series, SF3, SF6 for robotics we use generally, right? Some other, now you are having a Arduino Nano. This board is available, right? So this is what the firmware, right? This board firmware, the board should be available with you first of all. So suppose as an example you are having ESP32, right? That device is available with you, that microcontroller is available with you, fine. So now next is what you have to be download this firmware, and you have to be enable that port, and over that port you have to install this particular firmware into that device. Then only your MicroPython will get communicate with the device. So that is what the requirement first of all. So it's example, see, there are a lot of all the devices. See, the still list is they are increasing because this is again in a development phase. The people are started contributing a lot of things here. So they are contributing, they are making the firmwares, right? And people have started working on it. So a lot of work is already going on. So all these firmwares are available now. As you can see here, whichever node, whichever device you want to be work on, so you have to be download that particular firmware first of all. Fine. So this is what list of firmwares which are available on micropython.org. Fine. So today what I'm going to be show you, see, I have a couple of let me just open this from my mobile so I can show you a couple of hardwares I have with me, which I can show you from my mobile. So just a minute. Uh, Wait a minute, I have to stop it here and then. Yeah. Can you see the devices?
Yes, sir.